Hello Year 7 and welcome to your Year 7 Assembly. Today's Assembly is going to be brought to you by myself, Mr Stevens.
And by me, Mr Hardy. Good morning, Year 7.
Okay, so first and foremost, each week we are going to be producing a newsletter. And the newsletter will be sent out via your teams and will also be emailed to yourselves and will also be on the website. The newsletter is really important because it enables us to give you as much information as we can do. It's got competitions on it, and I know I explained last week via my video last week, but it's got a little bit more information on this week. So it's got lots and lots of competitions. It's got information about how to stay well, how to keep your well-being up, and how to access all the different things that you can do. Competitions are obviously a weekly quiz. We're going to be looking at a fantasy football Premier League, and then we've got two subjects, specific ones. We've got photography and we've got science. I'm going to speak about that a little bit more. In terms of how to access the newsletter, if you haven't had it in Teams, is you go on the Watershed Academy website. So if you go into Google, type in Watershed Academy, select the student home bar, select my year group from the drop down menu, click Year 7, and then click the newsletter. Then it will open up and it'll be able to tell you exactly what it is that we've been doing, and we look obviously forward to seeing all your responses. I've had a really good response this week from one student, and he's going to be a big part of our newsletter this week. Okay, so look forward to obviously getting that out tomorrow. It'll be out on a Tuesday, as I've just said, and moving forward, hopefully we'll be able to get as much information as we can do out to you.
Okay, Year 7s, it's really important that we get our offer right to you. How do we know we're getting it right? Because you're going to tell us. We've created a student voice survey. We know you can access that. You can see it on the screen, and it's the same way as the student newsletter, apart from you're going to click on the student voice survey. Like I say, it will only take you 5-10 minutes, but it's really important you let us know how it's going for you so we can adapt it, or we can change it, or even better, we can keep doing what we're doing.
Okay, so as I said, we've got some weekly competitions, and for science competition this week, it's going to be taken over a 5-week period. You're going to watch a BBC documentary based around a part of science, and then you're going to be able to access a quiz. And the students that get obviously the winning answers, or the most amount of answers right, will obviously be the winner, and there'll be prizes for the first place, second place and third place. This is a whole school science project and a science competition, but it's something that we're really proud of, and Mr Scholes is going to be taking the lead on that. So each week you'll get a link in your newsletter, you'll access the link, and then obviously you'll be able to watch the documentary and then be able to access the quiz. Okay, and obviously we will get all that information back, and then we'll announce in the following newsletter next week which the person is the winner. Okay, so we've also got a scavenger hunt, and this is for photography, and the idea is to look for all those 12 bits of information that are on the board, and then what we're looking to do is you're looking to take photographs of them, and the best photographs of those objects will win a prize, and you email your entries to Miss Matley, and it's e.matley@waterheadacademy.co.uk. So that's a photography competition, and it's something that I think is really important because it helps to see what it is that you've got around your household, and if it's something that you can really do. So it's a bit of a scavenger hunt, and hopefully you are able to win some prizes. So hopefully, okay. So
Feels like March again, doesn't it, Year 7? We've been here before, we've got through it, and we're going to get through it this time. We've had lots of changes. We've got our online learning up now, but we have been there before. We know what it feels like to be in lockdown. We know we have support around us. We've got 10 really good top tips to share with you this morning to make sure you get through this in a good place. We want to see you back in school as soon as possible, healthy, and with no gaps in your learning.
But what's the difference? Well, for me, the weather. So last time during lockdown, I know that I was able to get out and do lots and lots of activities in terms of going for long walks, going out running. I know that you guys didn't get to see the last newsletter, but I ended up having a lot of injuries by going out running. I remember splitting my head open by hitting my head on a tree because I wasn't watching what I was doing. So lots and lots of different things, but the main thing's the weather. last time was really sunny. Now we're in the winter months. It can be cold, rain, and even snowing in certain areas. So it's really important that we start to think about our mindset and not get bogged down by being, oh, well, the weather's really rubbish and I don't really feel like I'm in a good place because of it. We need to start thinking positively and think, right, this is the weather. What can we do? What can we be better at? We've got our lessons sorted now, as Mr. Hardy then spoke about, in terms of our team setup. And every single person should be able to access their team's timetable by going on the schedule button on the left-hand side. Okay, and that will tell you exactly what lesson you've got at exactly what time with exactly what teacher. So we've got enough support for you. And there's less confusion about the lockdown now. We've got more information. We're more informed because we know what's going on, and you're more informed because of that. And hopefully that confusion that was there last time is now not there no more, because we're all got that little bit more experience of it. It's not ideal, we know that, but all you need to understand is that we are here to help and support you.
Okay, so how might you be feeling during lockdown? We know that we've heard from some students they're feeling a little bit of stress. We've heard some students are feeling frustrated to be in lockdown again. Some students are becoming bored, a little bit overwhelmed by it all, a bit emotional. That links into being unmotivated, not interested in schoolwork, not interested in hobbies, not speaking to people becoming fed up because of all this. And a few people are relieved. And most of all, some people are happy. They're happy with that they're in a safe environment. They're happy they're with their families. They're happy they're talking to me and Mr. Stevens every week on the phone. They're sending good quality work back into school. So we know there's a mixed bag. So from feeling stressed to happy, we can understand everything that you're going through.
I think for me, what I would add into this part, this is where we now start to talk about mindset. And this is where we start to talk about taking responsibility and showing determination so that eventually we can be successful. And I think that's what we need to link back to. All the things that we've spoke about in our first half term, or our first term, should I say, in terms of taking responsibility, showing determination, being successful by being respectful, then obviously making sure that we're being resilient. Then these words that are on the board, yes, you might have experienced them or felt them in some point, but if you take responsibility, if you show determination, then you'll be able to get through it. And obviously, as we've said, me and Mr. Hardy and all your tutors are here to support you, as well as your classroom teachers. So this on the board now is just a little bit of information about how all the things that you might do and all the things that we know that with the stress bucket might obviously get to a point where it does become too much and does become overwhelming. If that does happen, again, when you're having your tutor calls, when you're wanting to speak to your teachers, just explain to us and tell us what the problem is, or tell us what's going on, so that we can help you. The more information we've got, the better.
You can drop us an email, you can ring us at school. We've got work mobiles. Do not hesitate to contact us if you feel that things are coming on top.
Okay, so we've got 10 top tips to help you not only stay safe during this version of the lockdown, but to also make sure that with that success we're talking about, you're able to achieve it.
Okay, so number one is a good routine, and this has been so important to me. Going to bed at the usual times, waking up at the usual times, getting out of bed, having my breakfast, having a shower, putting my clothes on for the day ahead, just starting my mindset where I need to be for the day ahead. Think about what's expected of you in the day. Take a level of responsibility at night to plan for the next day. Make sure you've got your reading books ready, your workbooks ready, any equipment you need, everything you would do at school, put in place at home. Your parents will support you with that. We can support you with that. Keep to your routine. Really good. Really important to have a good sleep hygiene. Go to bed at the normal times you would do at school. Wake up at the normal times. So when you do come back to year 7, you are in that routine to be successful.
I think one of the ways you can do that is by making sure that mobile phone that you've got, if you have got one, or you've got whatever device you've got at home, that you're not accessing that late at night, because that can then force you to stay awake and keep your mind open, and means it's going to be more difficult for you to get asleep and then have that routine, like Serge has been saying, of getting up early in the morning. We have had some feedback that some students aren't getting out of bed till like 12, 1, 2 o'clock, and that's no good for your routine. It's really important that you get yourself up, you have yourself some breakfast, and then you get yourself in that routine ready to attack your learning, especially now that you've got your routines of your lessons being at a certain time. Again, go to the schedule, the calendar section of your teams, and I'll give you all the information that you need. Enjoy. I think a to-do list is vitally important. Now, a to-do list is really important because it then helps to focus your mind, and you can tick off the things that you've done. I think because what happens is that when you have lots and lots and lots of things on your mind, it can become overwhelming. And I think that was one of the words that some of our students felt they were a little overwhelmed. So by getting a piece of paper, jot down all the bits of work that you've got to do, and then when you've done them, tick them off. You have a sense of accomplishment, a sense of achievement, which I think is really, really, really important.
Balance it off with your schoolwork. Do enjoyable things. If it's walking your dog, if it's making a phone call to a friend, put that on your list as well. Make it enjoyable. Balance it off, guys. Okay, exercise. We know we can go out and exercise for an hour a day. We know that's allowed. We live in a beautiful part of the country. I am sure that 80% of our year 7s have access to the countryside where we live. You can do a healthy walk with your family. Make the most of it. Wrap up warm. Make sure you got some Vimto in for when you get back. You can have a warm Vimto if it's cold and icy and snowy. Wrap up, go out, feel the fresh air on your face, blow all the cobwebs off, come back in and you will feel energised back to learn.
I think in terms of what else you can also do is your PE lessons are also each week have a circuit set up, and Miss Rule, Mr. Gregory and Miss Poole have done the one last week, and it's really important because what that helps to do is it helps to reduce your stress levels, helps to increase your energy levels because you feel that you've reduced your stress, it reduces depression, increases your mood, reduces anxiety, increases your self-esteem, improves your sleep pattern because you've got that energy out. It boosts your brain power and increases your well-being overall. But as well, it can also have a massive impact on your mental health, but also it can improve your physical health as well.
Really important. Don't just do it on school days, do it on the weekend as well. Keep that routine going. Keep motivated, keep energised.
And a balanced diet's really important, and a balanced diet's really important because as we've just discussed there in terms of keeping our mind healthy, it's also important that we get the right foods to keep our body healthy, because it then enables us to feel better within ourselves. If, for example, you're just simply eating junk food day in, day out, it can then give you that lethargic, lazy style of attitude. Whereas if you're eating the correct balanced diet, again, I'm not saying that junk food you shouldn't have. All I'm saying is that it needs to be in a balanced proportion. Okay, so it's really important that you get that. So not only are you feeding the body, but then also you're feeding the brain. You're making yourself feel better about yourself, and then you're being able to answer the questions in more detail and more depth because you've got that clear mind, and that all comes from your diet. Drinking plenty of water is massive because it engages your brain and allows you to then become successful because you're able to access the work better and think more clearly. Again, like we just said.
Just mention it, keep hydrated. In school, we know we're allowed water bottles. Keep a water bottle close by to where you're working.
Especially for those who are exercising as well, especially those who are engaged in exercise, it's really important that you keep yourself hydrated.
Keep off the energy drinks, keep off the sugary drinks, keep on water, guys, keep hydrated, keep positive.
10 glasses, 13 years of age or older, 10 glasses. So if we're looking at 11 to 12-year-olds, I'd say we're still looking at 10 glasses so we can hit that target. Okay, so again, as we said, limiting screen time. Okay, now I do understand that it is important that we do have some contact throughout the day because our lessons are slightly shorter during the remote learning experience, and I know that it is important to switch off a little bit from your learning so that you can maximise it. But it's important that we don't have too much screen time on our devices because that can have a negative impact on our learning. And again, as we spoke earlier on, if we're accessing it late at night, then it can have a detrimental effect on our sleep pattern, which means that we're not going to be able to get to bed on time, we're not going to be able to get up on time. So it's really important that we limit that screen access.
Limit the news that you're taking in, guys.
I think a lot of the thing with the news is that when we talk in terms of watching the news, a lot of it can be negative, and the reason why it's negative because sometimes negativity sells. But for me, if you limit your access to it in terms of you just get the information you need to become informed, and limit the whole people's opinions on things, then that enables us to form our own opinion, and it enables us to focus on the things that we need to focus on, because we can't do anything about lockdown. We can't do anything about what's going on in the world. What we can do is we can do our bit in terms of, if for example you have to isolate, if for example you have to go and get a test, and then complete your work to the best of your ability. Okay, so limiting in the negativity of sometimes that you can have through the media and the news, I think is really important, because it helps to keep you focused and it helps to keep your mind positive.
And I hope you enjoy our school newsletter as well. Our yearly newsletter is a good balance of what's going on in the world, lots of quizzes, and it'll keep you up to date with what other students are doing in Year 7, so it keeps you connected to our community. Talk to friends and family. Pick up your phone. We talked about reducing screen time. When you go downstairs to talk, have your tea, speak to your family. Tell them what you've done today in school. Tell them what you're doing tomorrow. Tell them what's happening. Have you started the quiz in the newsletter? Share memories.
Yeah, I think it's really important that you talk to somebody, and that can, as I just said, friends, family, and we can do that. Obviously, we know by social media, we can do that via Teams, in terms of your friends, but we can also, as I said, just speak to people. The main thing that frustrates me is when people don't talk and they don't tell you what's going on, because if you don't know what's going on, we can't help, or we can't acknowledge and say well done. And I think sometimes praise is really important, and I think getting praise from your family, you will get that by talking to them, and I think that's really important. And then again, it's also important to speak to your teachers, because your teachers are able to provide all that bits of information that you need. So for example, if something's not going right, you don't understand the work, tell us. Tell your teachers, access through Teams, go through conversations, add their name into it, and then talk to them and say, look, I'm not getting this. And then that will then enable you to feel better about yourself. And when we spoke about mental health, and when we spoke about what we can do, and all of them anxiety, stress, depression that we spoke about before, that'll be relieved because you're able to get that load off your mind.
Something that goes hand in hand with talking is laughter. It's a feel-good moment, isn't it? You'll talk to your family, you'll talk about memories, you'll share fond memories, you'll talk about holidays, even jokes. It's a feel-good factor. Laughter will follow talk.
And again, that links straight back in. Yes, we've got to talk. Yes, we want to share information, but it's really important that you share the right information for us, especially if you need help. If you need help, ask for it. Tell somebody, and I don't care who that is, whether it be a teacher, whether it be your form tutor, myself, Mr. Hardy, Julie. It doesn't matter who it is, or your parents, or your friends. If you need help, speak to them. The reason being is because we want the best for you, and we want you to be able to not only succeed in obviously your classwork, but we also want your mindset to be positive, and we want you to be the best person you can be, and we don't want you to just sit in your room and be doom and gloom and not happy. Sarah said smiling, laughing. That's what we want to see from you, and you're only going to get that way if you allow us to help.
Lots of ways to ask for help. You can email us, you can get us through Teams, you can ring the school, you can speak to your family and ask them to contact us. There isn't one just way to ask for help, and there is no silly questions when asking for help. Please be honest and be truthful, and we will help you be a success.
And then again, support others as well. We're saying about asking for help. If somebody comes to you with an issue and needs help, then guide them in the right direction. It might be that you want to support them in a way that you can do, and you can provide tips about how to do that. But if you can't and you don't know the answers, then reach out to us, reach out to your parents, ask the advice that you might need, and then direct, so we can then do our job and we can help others just like you are. So as we said about support available, so I spoke about there's many ways in which you can contact us. You can contact and speak to your tutor via Microsoft Teams, email, or during the weekly tutor call that's been getting home. If you haven't had a phone call home right? Please get your parents to email, or yourself via Teams. Speak to your tutor and provide a contact number, an up-to-date one that we can get hold of you on. Really important on that. Second thing is by contacting your year team. So myself and Mr. Hardy, can you get in touch with us if you need to speak to us? Can you know how to do that? Email and via Teams. And then also, there's also one of the ways that you can obviously keep in touch, and that is if you have an issue or concern, and you have access to the internet, to report your issue and concern to www.wateracademy.co.uk. You're going to select the students section on the home bar. You're going to select my year group from the drop down menu, and then you're going to click on, at the very bottom, click report a concern, and then a document will come up. You fill the document in, and then you submit that document. It's really important that if you do have a concern, then you know where to contact, and these 3 things that we've put on the board are really important to see.
Okay, so lots of advice you can get online. We really promote going on www.kooth.com. Kooth is spelled K-O-O-T-H, and it's an online counselling service. So if you feel that you've tried all our 10 top tips and you're still feeling a little bit low, or something's happened that you're not quite sure about, you can always click on to kooth.com, and they will provide you with a counsellor who can email you, who can talk to you online live, just like me and Mr. Stevens are doing now, or they can email you advice and you can get things just off your chest. There might not be a solution to it straight away, but they will be able to listen to you, and between you both, you will get a solution.
Okay, so in terms of acknowledgements, we spoke about routine earlier on, and we're going to keep it exactly the same, our routine. So we're going to be acknowledging some outstanding students this week, and each week we're going to have a subject star for remote learning. So those students who are producing outstanding work in a certain subject area are going to be acknowledged, and you should be getting an email sent home with an e-certificate from your class teacher. So without further ado, in English, goes to Riley Oliver, and this is for having a fantastic attitude, demonstrating values of determination, responsibility and success. Okay, so really well done to you, Riley.
Okay, in English as an additional language, we've got Fatima Ali. Well done for perseverance and commitment to home learning. Well done, Fatima.
Okay, for maths, we've got Anis Hussain, working really hard, has completed all his work and is engaging positively with Miss Norman. Okay, so really well done to you, Anis.
Next up, we've got our science award, and that goes to you, Ashley Lynch, for completing every assessment to a super high standard, self-assessed all your work in red, and your beautiful presentation. Well done, Ashley.
Okay, for MFL, so for Spanish, this goes for Sarah El Kafuli, and this is for not just doing the work, but as a native speaker, doing extension tasks and really trying hard. So well done to you, Sarah.
Okay, up next we've got geography, and that is going to Evie Reid. Evie, you've consistently done high quality work, handed it in on time. Evie has gone above and beyond this week with remote learning. Within an hour of the task being set, it's been completed. It's not been completed by 1 page, it's been completed by 4 whole pages. Well done, Evie, keep it up.
Okay, for history, we've got Mohammed Hassan Naveed for exceptional teams work. He's used all his preconceived ideas and been able to generate all that knowledge to then complete all the tasks successfully. So well done to you, Hassan.
Okay, up next we've got religious studies, and that's gone to Hayat Abdul Wahid for having an outstanding work ethic and producing high quality work. Well done, Hayat.
Okay, and physical education, we have Jessica Nixon, that's for working hard every day to complete the task set. So well done to you, Jessica.
Up next we've got music. Our music award goes to Jaden Nichols for completing some really good work and really impressing with the quality of his work. Well done, Jaden.
Okay, we've got art. It goes to Amaza Akhtar for producing outstanding work, always asking questions and trying her personal best. So well done to you.
Next up we've got food technology, and the award for food technology this week goes to Talia Bowyer-Wells for resilience when struggling with new processes. Well done for not giving up and showing a level of determination. Well done, Talia.
Okay, so what we're going to do is obviously, like we normally would do, is me and Mr. Hardy are going to give everyone a massive round of applause who've achieved today, but also for those students who haven't been acknowledged, who are consistently applying themselves to the best of their ability. So it's a really well done, and I want everybody, when you've obviously watched this video, to at home give them a round of applause too. So we have a massive round of applause to the guys and girls who've been absolutely exceptional this week. Really well done. Okay, absolutely brilliant. So, just to finish, same time next week, okay? Each week we're going to set up, obviously, an assembly. We're going to have a certain bits of information that we're going to give you. It's going to have a certain topic and a certain theme, hopefully to get you through so that you can learn to the best of your ability. Remember, take responsibility, show determination to be successful. It's important that you are respectful at home to your parents and to your carers and to your other family members, and it's also important that you show resilience to setbacks. So if something's not going right, don't just sit there and sulk. Be the best person that you can be, and you can do that by applying our key values and obviously all them things that we've spoke about in terms of responsibility, determination, success, respect. Anything from you, sir?
No, just have a really enjoyable week, guys. Try your hardest, and any questions, you're not on your own. You can contact us. Remember, www.coof.com, and I look forward to speaking to lots of you this week.
Okay, speak to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye, Year 7.